Mr. Yannick Buet, and we're happy to give...
It's not over with yet. France still on the front here. Germany launch a final bid for glory. Oh, Roubaix came out of the sprinters line as well. We're looking for the lap gate in the closing stages.
Hello everybody, and a very warm welcome to France. We're here, we're ready, and after a quick turnaround, it's the World Championships in Roubaix. 44 nations are here in northern France, 5 days, 22 events, and we're all set in the brand new modern velodrome in Roubaix, the Jean Stablinski, Le Stab, as it's known around here. Well, hi everybody. It's been a long time, hasn't it? 18 months since the last World Championships, but we're here. We have 22 rainbow jerseys to give out. We've got the first Worlds in France for 5 years. Was, of course, due to be in Turkmenistan till COVID intervened, but the 350 or so athletes are ready. 44 countries represented, and a town known the world over for its famous outdoor track welcomes everybody to the brand new covered velodrome. It's the 118th meeting of the best track cyclists in the world. This is the Tissot UCI Track Cycling World Championships. Well, day one is here. As you can see, the preparations are well underway. They've come from over the border in the Netherlands to look at this. Spanish mechanics have been working hard all day long. It's a thumbs up. It's good to see competition back, and wherever you're watching, we hope you're going to have a great 5 days with us. It's taken 8 weeks since they knew about this. Everything's organised. 170 volunteers have helped make it happen. And there'll be a few toasts to success as we get ready for the first 3 rainbow jerseys that are going to be awarded this evening. We've already had a semi-warm-up session today, qualifications that have gone on. And tonight we're going to see women's team sprint qualifying first up. There are some big names here. Ukraine, one of the very big nations on the track. There are nations who tasted success in the Olympic Games recently in Tokyo. There are others who want to get the next Olympic cycle underway here, because the road to Paris 2024 really does begin this evening. With everything that's happened, we haven't had too much track cycling in the last few years. The last couple of years been a real struggle to be able to get events together safely. But now we begin that road, and this 250-meter long track made of Siberian spruce is ready to welcome the world. There we go, 7.1 meters wide, and that bend at 40.91 degrees. The Velodrome Jean Stablinski, named after one of the most famous French cyclists of all time. We've just had the opening ceremony. Dignitaries are in, the commissaires on your screen were watching. Last few little thank yous to everybody who's worked hard to put this together. And they are the people who'll be in charge, led by the jury president, Paul Watson, who comes from the Republic of Ireland. As usual at the World Championships, everybody's got their home in Track Centre. It's been the case for a couple of days now. Athletes warming up, training, checking, final preparations being put together for the first real meaningful races that are about to take place. Great Britain here, India. The Brits with a much changed team from their Olympic Games, but Jennifer Valenti will be looking for a rainbow jersey later on. Silver medalist last time out in the scratch. She'll be looking to try and convert that into gold now that Kirsten Phil, the title holder, has retired. Look out, as always, for the Norwegians. Anita Yvonne Stenberg will be in action tonight. She too will be competing in the scratch race. Canada stronger on the track than they are on the road, and they're here with a very good delegation. That's the strong Canadian team sprint outfit. A change in the team sprint as well tonight. Long awaited and long overdue parity. We're going to have 3 athletes per team, 3 laps, and there you're looking at the superstars of world team sprinting, the Germans. Friedrich, Grabosch and Hinze. And talking to team sprinting, a lot of talk in the build-up about several errors, who can compete where, administration mess-ups maybe by the federation in the Netherlands. Well, Hoogland, Lavresen and Van den Berg are ready to go. They want to defend their big titles. They'll be pushed by the French though. Hilal, Vigier and Grandbeau. They're representing the host nation. First time we've had a Worlds in France for 5 whole years, since we had it in the Yvelines region. As to the Yvelines, will return next year for the Worlds. But as track cycling begins a brand new cycle, we're all ready to go with the first of efforts in France. Final checks. We have the lists, and let's get going with what's going to happen tonight. Well, we've just had the opening ceremony, and in around 5 minutes' time, we'll begin with a women's team sprint qualifying. After that, the men's team sprint will take place. We'll go to the women's scratch finale as well, and we're going to have a little bit of team pursuiting to see who's in the final. They'll come later on tomorrow, but we've got the team sprint finals, 3 rainbow jerseys in total, to be handed out tonight. That's tonight. But it's been a long time, hasn't it, since we had the last World Championships. Berlin 2020, Kirsten Field was absolutely flying in the scratch. She sadly now left the sport, retired just a month or so ago. She was smiling then in that rainbow jersey. There was glory in the women's team sprint too for Germany. They've made the discipline their own, and it was nice for them to have that winning feeling on home soil. Nobody could get past the Netherlands in the men's team sprint, however. They're the diamonds of the discipline at the moment, and they showed it off back in Berlin. So that was the destination of the 3 rainbow jerseys we're going to see given out tonight. 18 months ago, last year, just before the pandemic struck Europe, when we were in Berlin, the German capital, at the end of February. We're approaching the end of October 2021. We're here in the north of France, a rearranged World Championships. The World Championships that come right at the beginning
la Fédération française de cyclisme, l'ensemble de leurs partenaires et surtout tous les bénévoles. Je souhaite bonne chance aux participants et beaucoup de plaisir au public. Tout est prêt pour assister à du grand spectacle. Alors sans plus attendre, j'ai le plaisir de déclarer les championnats du monde piste UCI Tissot 2021 de Roubaix officiellement ouverts. Merci à tous.
The World Championships open. So a unique set of circumstances and a unique venue for track cycling. Everybody knows the very famous old concrete velodrome that sits just a couple of 100 meters here from the Stab. The grand finale of the Queen of the Classics, Paris-Roubaix, which we had a couple of weeks ago. But it's indoors we go now, to the very best on the boards, and we begin these World Championships, the first of 22 events with women's team sprint qualifying. They're going to have to do it all in one night. We go from qualification to the first round to the finals. And some of the favourites have been warming up, and well, how can you talk about the favourites without mentioning the Germans? They'll be the last to go off in qualifying. They're the world champions. And they've had success in the final two-person team sprint discipline before it all changed and has become a three-athlete event to give them parity with the men's. Of course, they had plenty of success at the Olympic Games, didn't they? Not so long ago. So we've got 8 teams to line up here, and we're going to be beginning with Japan. Great Britain will go next. Canada, Nigeria also here. Nigeria looking for their first ever bit of success at the Track Cycling Worlds.
So a few moments to the first start. We're looking forward to the team of Japan.
No China here. That's a disappointment, really, given the fact that they are the Olympic champions yet again in that two-person discipline. Germany with Friedrich and Hinze picking up the silver. It was the Russian Cycling Federation who took bronze in Tokyo. But the hosts from Tokyo will be first to go here as we're back in Europe. And for a few, it's a brand new drill, this. An extra athlete. As I said, long overdue parity. It's 3 athletes now for the women, 3 laps, just as we've seen with the men for a long, long time. So here are the 3 athletes: Minasato, Ryo Ota, and Fuku Umekawa. Japan in those red jerseys. First athlete has to go from the start gate, remember. Second lap athlete in the middle. And of course, the final athlete right at the top of the track. 750 meters then, 3 laps. And this is to draw who you'll face up against in the first round. Get our first beeps of these championships. And off go Japan then. And it's all about setting the fastest time you can over 3 laps. Starting rider setting a 12.539 over 125 meters. Coming up to the end of lap 1 now. World record here, 46.852 set by the Russian Cycling Federation. That was in Bulgaria last year. Of course, remember, I haven't had too many international competitions with the 3-person team sprint event. Coming down now for the time to be set, the first time that is set, is a 49.178. No danger of the world record going there. And you would suggest that there are going to be teams that will go quicker than Japan tonight. But we're underway. Japan, the first of 8. And for now, top of the leaderboard. Our seats still filling up here in Roubaix. Generous applause from those who've made their way in. And as one team finishes, the next is being readied. Next up will be Great Britain. They changed Olympic cycle. COVID problems, transport. It's a shame we don't see the Olympic champions China here and how they would develop and change their program for 2 to 3 person. It's going to be fascinating, isn't it, over the next 3 years to see the destination of these rainbow jerseys as we lead up to Paris 2024. British team getting ready. Long, long time since they were the world champions in this discipline. Manchester 2008. And this is playing Rich Davis, Lauren Bate, and Millicent Tanner.
27.
Final checks. Game face is on. get the 10-second beat. This is where all the strength training comes in. This start, hugely important. Coaches scream away. As the athletes are ready, remember, rider 3 there can't go in front of rider 2. It's something that's rehearsed and practiced, and Great Britain are almost a second up as we go on board. That at the 125-metre section. That was Tanner doing the first lap. 1.3 up at the halfway stage on the top time set by Japan. Barring any sort of incident here, Great Britain will be the new leaders. A little slower though, going into lap 3. And it's Blaine Ridge-Davis who will finish the effort. And there it is, it's a 48.388, 0.79 seconds quicker. And for now, Great Britain are the leaders. Everybody will qualify. 8 teams qualifying for the first round, and this is merely a formality for the seeding. Seeing who's going to face who. Ridge-Davis crossed the line there. Great Britain have brought a much changed team. This is something that isn't unusual for British track cycling after an Olympic Games. You wonder whether they would stick to the tried and tested method of mixing up the teams straight away post-Olympics, given the shorter Olympic cycle here. Well, there have been plenty of changes. Time to welcome Sarah Orban, Kelsey Mitchell and Lauriane Genet, all representing Canada. Third of our 8 teams, you can see every second is counted down. Each of these teams, as I said before, the starts will be rehearsed. They will know the routine to the second. There's a look at the time still to go. 5 seconds and we get the beeps. And Canada are off in their women's team sprint qualification here at the Tissot 2021 Track Cycling World Championships. Better appreciation of the chaos on the boards there, even though it's only one team occupying them. Slightly slower than the Brits going to the end of lap 1, but 0.3 seconds, it's recoverable. They're getting faster as well. There's the bell, final rider to go, and Canada are the fastest going into the final lap. 0.1 seconds quicker than those from Great Britain at the moment. Time ticking on as she comes to the line. How's it going to finish? And Canada are the new leaders. It's tight though, it's very tense. And Sarah Orban finishing that one, looks up at the board and she will see that Canada now lead. A 48.362 and an average speed for the 750 meters of 55.8 kilometers per hour. Next up, the team from Nigeria, looking to bring home the nation's first ever success at 8 track cycling worlds. So far it's Canada who lead, Great Britain second, Japan setting the 3rd best time. Remember, the better the time, the easier the draw in the rounds. And the chance, of course, to compete for the rainbow jersey. Game faces on Tawakalt Yekin. She will ride lap 1. Mary Samuel will take lap 2. Is a Ukpasareya for lap 3. Nigeria looking for a good start. Little slow out the gate maybe from rider number 1. That was Yekin, and it's shown in the first time. Just under 2 seconds down for the first 125 meters. 3 seconds down after the first lap. It was an error at the start gate really, but they're up to speed now. Nigeria just over halfway through. Now they will take the bell. And it's all up to Ukpasareya to try and pick up the speed and try and save the day. Hasn't been their greatest performance yet. Just under 7 seconds down here. Let's see how it comes into the finale. Nigeria across the line. It's a 7.2 seconds down. It is the slowest of the 4 times so far, with an average of 48 kilometers per hour. Not what they came for, not what they wanted. I said right in the first few teams we saw, that start is rehearsed and rehearsed. It must be so difficult to recover when it doesn't go to plan, when it's not all right on the night. We're talking seconds, milliseconds, nanoseconds in this, and this is how it holds up so far. Halfway through the qualification round, Canada in the lead from Great Britain, Japan and Nigeria. Next up will be Ukraine. Nation with a lot of track cycling pedigree. There are 3 representatives. Lyubov Vasova, Alla Biletska, and you're looking now at Alexandra Lovyanyuk. There was an individual sprint medal for Ukraine at the Olympics, remember, for Olena Starikova. How they get on in the team with a different team here. And they're on the way. Looks a solid enough start. Settling into formation before that 100-meter line. Over 125 meters. They come up to the first 250-meter lap, and then 0.3 seconds down. Halfway through, 0.8 seconds down. They need to get quicker coming into this final lap now, the Ukraine. Second athlete really struggled to get up to speed there. It's put them on the back foot a little as they go to 125 meters to go. 2 seconds down. It's not going to be Ukraine's finest hour on the sprint bike, this. And it's 1.8 seconds down. Good enough only for 4th place at the moment. Not going to trouble the scorers, I don't think, at the top of the tree at the end of the night. Well, faces of disappointment. Poland next up. Marlena Karwacka, Ursula Wosch and Nicola Sibian. By this stage, team 6 of 8, a rough idea what you need to be doing in terms of times to be up in the fight for the rainbow jerseys. How fast the track is running, how things are going tonight. .13 seconds up. It's a good enough start, this, from Poland. Halfway through, they come to the end of the second athlete there, and the bell now rings. 0.425 down. Got it all to do on this final lap as Sibian. Half a second down. You can hear the coaches screaming at her to speed up here. It's only going to be good enough for 3rd place, and with the Russian Cycling Federation and the Germans still to come, that makes it a little difficult for Poland. Canada still lead, Great Britain in 2nd place, Poland now up to 3rd, just ahead of Japan. Around 0.6 of a second up. Well, these are the standings so far. Canada, Great Britain, Poland, Japan, Ukraine, and then Nigeria. That is the top 6. So the world record holders 11 months ago from Plovdiv in Bulgaria is the Russian Cycling Federation. That night they set a 46.852. They're here and ready. Natalia Antonova, Yana Tishchenko, and the Olympic bronze medalist Anastasia Voinova. She sits in the middle of the pairing there. It's Antonova to do the first lap. And this is a highly anticipated ride, and no wonder, look at that. Half a second quicker, 125 meters in. It's a solid start. They're almost a second set up here now. Second lap to be taken on by the Olympic medalist Voinova. Keeping that 0.8 of a second lead as they come up to the bell now. It's just 0.784 here. Russian Cycling Federation are looking very good to have an opportunity to ride for the medals. And it's a super time, It's 1.3 seconds quicker. First team to go under 48 seconds. And of course, it's the world record holders. They don't really trouble their own record, but it's been a top ride, that. Voinova, who was part of that bronze medalist team. Let's call it a pairing still at the Olympic Games before the change in the event the other week. With Daria Shmeleva. And with the Russians having ridden, only Germany now remains. And this is how it stands. Canada, Great Britain, Poland, Japan. Poland must be a little worried here. Canada too. So the world champions are here. It's the top team as well. Grabosch, Friedrich, Hintze. With all of their pedigree, they have won this more than any other nation in the history of the event. And Germany are go. The new era is underway. They've settled in time. And let's see where they are on the time sheets. Well, they've work to do after the first 125 meters. 0.2 seconds down on the Russians. 0.4 down after lap 1. Now then, Germany, what have you got? Time to really dig deep. And that's better, they're speeding up. 0.3 seconds down. Next time to take the time as they go for the bell. Getting quicker, getting closer. It's looking very, very good. But are they going to be quite as quick as the Russians? I think they'll have the time, and now they're ahead of the time. Hello, here we go, Germany. Last time to be set, and it's a very good one. It's the best time we've ever seen. It's a brand new world record. They started slow, but my did they get quicker. A 46.511. And the first big moments of these Tissot 2021 UCI Track Cycling World Championships. The Germans smashed the world record. And the team sprint, at the moment, is looking very, very good for them. Well, that's not a way to end the qualifying, is it? Not a bad way at all. German track cycling in rude health. We saw at the Olympic Games that the pursuiting was as well. We knew that the team sprint was there or thereabouts. We knew they had work to do there. And when it came to Emma Hintze. Oh, my, did she dig deep. Grabosch, Friedrich Hintze take a bow. And it's just taken 24 minutes in the Roubaix Velodrome for a world record to be broken. It's like this for 5 days. It's going to be very, very entertaining. And this is how it ends up in qualifying. Each and every one of the 8 teams qualifies for the first round, given the fact that we only have 8 entries in the team sprint this year. Germany, though, setting the fastest time and setting a brand new world record in the process. So we move from the women's to the men's team sprint. 13 teams here, so there is a little bit more jeopardy. Only 8 qualify. Everybody will be looking a little more nervously at those times. And look who's here. The Oranje. The men won this 18 months ago in Berlin. And this is how they'll line up tonight. Japan will go first, followed by Kazakhstan. And we'll get to the 3 biggest nations, we think, at the moment. France, Russian Cycling Federation, and of course, Netherlands. The question will be, from seasoned track cycling followers tonight, can anybody beat the Netherlands? Well, we're about to find out. And first up, Obara, Terasaki, Yamasaki, all representing Japan. Quick reminder that the world record was indeed set by the Netherlands, a 41.225, and that was in Berlin. Japanese picking up speed at the end of this first lap now. Halfway through at 24.6. Bell rings, it's now the turn of Yamasaki. Into turn 4, catapulted out of turn 4 across the line, and it's a 44.414, 60 kilometers per hour the average over the 750 meters on these boards. Well, this is how it looks on night 1 of the World Championships here in Roubaix. Northern France awash, usually on the road. Plenty of cycling fanatics. You've got the famous cobbles down the road of Paris-Roubaix. We're here on the track, all ready to go. And there will be quite the cheer, I'm sure, once the first French home team is ready to go in the team sprint. There's no French participation, no home participation in the women's team sprint event. It will be the 11th heat here in the qualification that we'll see the French go. For now, it's time for Kazakhstan and Sergei Ponomaryov, Dmitry Rezanov, and Andrei Chungai. They're off. Scream of effort to get going there. Ever so slightly slower from Ponomaryov. Man one. But quicker by the end of the 250 meters than the Japanese. So decent enough this from Kazakhstan. Rezanov now. In man two position. And the man to finish here, off and on his way, is Chungai. Slowing things down, however, looks as though, unless there's a marked improvement, that the Japanese time will stand as the fastest, and it will. Kazakhstan 0.9 down. Might be difficult to qualify with that time, let's see. Next up come the Canadians. Readying themselves down there with Ryan Dodjic. I hope he's a little more awake than that. Time to go. They need to set a good time now. Come on, mate. Coffee machine not working or something? Or part of the routine, maybe, who knows? Hugo Barret, Nick Wam, and Ryan Dodjic. All smiles now. Good to go. Must know who's caught on camera. Back to the serious stuff, remember. Kazakhstan almost a second slower than Japan. Canada are now ready. Dodjic does wake up now. My, are those muscles screaming as he gets out the gate and gets ready. Races towards that 125-meter line. And it's a solid enough start, ever so slightly slower than the Japanese. Let's see where he gets them at the end of man one. Yes, they're quicker. Canada are the quickest so far. Halfway through, 0.16 up now. This is Wam, and it's going to be the bell to take them. 0.3 seconds, still tense, still tight. In with a shout maybe of qualification here. Barret, who's taking on the last lap. And Barret is going to go to the line. That's good. That's almost half a second quicker. The fastest time so far set by the Canadians. A 61.383 kilometre per hour ride. And that translates to 43.986 seconds. Are they happy enough with that? They did wake up in the end. Indian team is next up. Fourth of our 13 teams. They're going to begin with Jem Singh Ketlapakam, Urojit Singh, and Ronaldo Laitonjam. Final pat on the back. All the power generated there, making sure everybody's strapped in. clipped and strapped in the sprinting, of course. Such are the forces that are exerted as they burst out the gates. India, fourth of the 13 teams and ready to go. 43.9, the time to beat. Indian sprinting has been right up there at junior level in the last few years. A couple of top riders in junior world champions from the Andaman Islands in particular. Indian track cycling is certainly on an upward trajectory. 0.5 seconds down there, halfway through the ride. They come to the last lap, almost a second down. Final man here, Ronaldo Laitonjam, coming to the line, and he sets the fourth best time so far. 1.483 down, just under 60 kilometers per hour. Not quite scaling the heights of the huge Indian success in sprinting in the last 3 or 4 seasons, really, in those Junior World Championships we've seen. But a solid enough ride nonetheless. Dart to the line, dash for every second. Now we're looking at Robin Wagner, representing Czech Republic. Czech riders put into place by the UCI commissars and officials. Team of international officials who are assisted by colleagues from the French Cycling Federation as well. So it's Wagner, Topinka, Boslavik. Oh, they are ready to go. Aggression be translated into action on the bike. It's already a very, very strong start. Flying out of the traps there, 0.034 seconds quicker. Up to speed as they come to the end of lap 1. Man 1 has done his job, and Czech Republic are the fastest so far. Remember, it's the Canadians they have to beat. 0.05 up on that at the halfway stage in the ride. They're coming up to the last lap now, and it's man 3 to do his job. Flies away to the second turn. Out of that, he goes into the back straight now. They've lost a little bit of speed, and the Canadians are surviving for the moment. And they will survive. It's the third top time so far set by Czech Republic. So Canada's time has survived several attempts. We've had 5 teams now to go. Canada lead, Japan second, Czech Republic, Kazakhstan and India in that order. Almost 2 seconds between the top and the worst time. It's a wait-and-see job now for Czech Republic. This is how it stands. 0.428, the difference between first and second. Just over half a second, the difference between the top 3, and it's now time for Spain. The big figure of Juan Peralta, right in the middle. The man from Navarra in the north of the country. Good Kirin racer. And there he is. Juan Peralta will be second man. Be helped by Alejandro Martinez and Ecaín Jiménez. Not known for their sprinting prowess on the track, the Spanish. It's more about the endurance events usually for them. Well, in Peralta in particular, they have a good name. Good pedigree. On the countdown. And they're out the blocks. Spanish know that it is Canada who've set the top time so far. And Martinez at 1/10 of a second down on his lap, halfway through it. Now it's time for Peralta. There's a 0.2.4 second difference. Spain, who need to pick it up a little. 0.357 down. It's Peralta coming to the line. And now it's up to Jiménez to try and finish. 1 second down here, Spain, not the greatest of their performances. Jiménez Elizondo at 1.4 down. 5th place for Spain. It's a big, big ask to qualify from there, I think. Average of just under 60 kilometers per hour. It was Alejandro Martinez who got them out of the traps with a decent enough first lap. Lost a 10th or so with Peralta on man 2. Jiménez, he was struggling to hold on to anything within a second after that. Seventh of our teams will be Ukraine. And these are their representatives. Vladislav Denishenko, Bohdan Danilchuk, and Mikhailo Yaroslav Dudko. And they're off. A reminder that it's still Canada who lead. They are qualified at the moment, the first team to qualify, with the mathematical situation we see. Rapid on board, isn't it? Second down now, halfway through. Ukraine need to improve if they're going to be in the mix. Looking like they'd struggle even to be on terms with the Spanish here. Let's get the final result, but I don't think it's been a very good ride at all from Ukraine. 2.149 down, the slowest of the 7 teams so far. Night to forget for the moment for Ukraine. And that ride qualifies Japan alongside Canada.
2 weeks ago in Roubaix. After building English Turnbull and Joseph Truman.
Our next team to be prepared as we see Ukraine perhaps bowing out of this competition. Let's see if that time will be involved. I'm pretty sure, though, that they will not be involved. Great Britain with a silver medalist at the Olympics, but that was a different team. A brand new lineup here. Alistair Fielding, Hamish Turnbull, Joe Truman. New Olympic cycle, new goals. How good are they here? Certainly tension, look at that. A 43.986 set by Canada, the top time so far. Qualification guaranteed would happen if they picked up anything better than a 44.14. And wow, they're well up on that at the start here. It's been a good start from Great Britain, a really good start. 0.7 up at the first man. Man 2 now is Hamish Turnbull. Turnbull coming to the line. How are they going on time? It's 0.7 up. Looking to finish now is Joseph Truman. 125 metres across, halfway across his final lap. And here he goes. It's almost a second to the good. Can he finish it off? It's Great Britain to the line. It's half a second better. Great Britain are qualified. And so far, they have the fastest time. A really good ride from the new British team. We've got another 5 teams to see in terms of where we see where it stands when we compare to the very big teams. Talking about the Netherlands, of course, France, the home team, and the Russian Cycling Federation, but that is solid from a brand new British team. This is how it looks so far. 3 teams qualified. Great Britain, Canada, Japan. The Czechs and the Kazakhstanis in 4th and 5th. Waiting to see if anybody goes slower. Next up, looking to go quicker than the 8 teams we've just seen classified, is Poland. Mateusz Szmulek, Mateusz Rudzik, and Rafał Sarnecki are the 3 representatives. This is the 9th of our 13 teams, by the way. 8 have finished. 5 remain. Final G up. Now they're ready. They have to be. This is the moment. Remember, top 8 qualify here for the next round. 43.467 is the new top time to beat, set just a moment ago by Great Britain. How will Poland fare? Almost half a second down is Mateusz Milek. stays that way at the end of lap 1 for Poland. They've got to get quicker. Looking good for qualification at the minute. Not in the quickest time yet, but that's getting better, 0.4 down. Got to finish the job here now. Sarnecki cutting that gap to 0.3. This is much better from Poland. They're getting quicker, and it's 0.4 seconds down. It's the second fastest time. Poland are into the first round. They join Canada, Japan, and the current quickest time, Great Britain. As it stands, missing out would be Czech Republic, Kazakhstan, Spain, India and Ukraine, the slowest team. Mathematically, Ukraine are now definitely out. Poland will be happy with that ride, I'm sure. And what can Germany produce? A couple of really big name sprinters in Joachim Eilers and Stefan Böttcher. And they're joined by Nick Schröter. Riders getting organised as the countdown's on. .30-second beat, and we meet those superstars. And we know all about Joachim Eilers in particular. He's had some very, very good championships in the past. Germany now are off. Eilers will be last man, sits on the wheel of Stefan Böttcher. .257 down. Getting quicker though. End of Böttcher's turn. And this is very, very good from Germany now. If Eilers can finish this off, this could be the leading time. He's in the lead now, needs to hold on to it with 125 meters to go. Joachim Eilers is absolutely flying and fires Germany into the lead. Brilliant, brilliant stuff from the experienced man. He is a blindingly fast sprinter. Then continued a really good start from Germany. So the new top time from Germany is a 43.251. Well, you heard a cheer there whilst we were watching the replay. That is because, as you've seen, we've got 5 qualifiers. It's now the French turn. The turn of the Équipe de France. There they are. Supporters at the ready. And this is the first time of these championships we've seen the home nation involved. It's good to see. will help to create that atmosphere that we've been desperate to hear. For the 18 months or so, we've been denied this. And here are the local heroes, Ryan Elal, Sébastien Vigier, and Florian Grengbo. Elal there waits and is ready. His turn will come at the last. Man 3. Grengbo to get them underway. This team were the bronze medalists at this Olympic Games just a few months ago. They're being cheered on with every pedal stroke, and they're the fastest. They're the fastest after man 1. Listen to that. We've missed this, haven't we? 500ths up, and now 700ths up on that top time set by Germany. The France are on their way into the first round, but what time's it going to be? 0.1 up now. Here they come, flying to the line. Elal finishes the job, and with 62.842 kilometers per hour, France are into the first round. They're going to have a very, very much easier opponent, I'm sure, than their bigger competitors, because they've set the fastest time so far. France are qualified. And that's certainly raised the decibels here in Le Stab, the Jean Stablinski Velodrome, here in the northern town of Roubaix. Right in the northeast of France we are. These 3 Frenchmen capturing the attention of the local supporters. These hastily rearranged World Championships. France is in the rare position of hosting back-to-back Worlds. So we'll see them again next year in Yvelines. So there'll be bigger crowds there. We hope, cross your fingers, touch wood, whatever you've got to do, they will all be allowed in to watch. Russian Cycling Federation are now getting ready. Russia, who have never won this event. Racing the team sprint since the mid-1990s in Bogota. Chance to do something here with Gladyshev, Sharapov, Yakushevsky. And they're off. I know the top time set just now by France, the host nation. First lap of 17.53 seconds. Second lap took them to 30 seconds. Finishing time with a final lap of just over 12 seconds to 42.95. Fourth best first lap there for Russian Cycling Federation. They're up to speed now. How are they getting on at the 500-meter mark? They're still in the 4th position at the moment. Not really going to rip up the timesheets, but it looks as though they're on the way to qualification. And they are. They are going to qualify for now, provisionally in 4th place. You can imagine that could be bumped down to 5th, given who's up next. And who's up next? Well, the nation that's dominated this event. Despite the gritting of the teeth, the effort there from Russia. Be very surprised if this next team doesn't go quicker. An applause there for his home nation's efforts. This is the next team, the 13th and final team. The Olympic champions, the world champions, the world record holders. It's the Netherlands. I'm talking about Roy van den Berg, Harry Lavreesen and Jeffrey Hoogland. The big boys from up in the Netherlands. Unbeaten in team sprinting in the World Championships since 2018. They won in Apeldoorn the year after a couple of years of New Zealand Kiwi dominance had finished. They can do it today. They can equal a couple of streaks set by the French. France have won this for 2 times in their history, 4 years running. It's exactly what this trio is looking to do today. So Van den Berg, Lavreesen, Hoogland. Netherlands, top team in the world, ready to go. And what do they have here in 2021? We know that they are the Olympic champions as well. They showed just a couple of months ago. Have they been partying too hard since Tokyo? Let's see. They certainly look like they're flying at the end of lap 1, and they are. They are top of the timesheets after the opening lap. Van den Berg doing his bit. Harry Lavreesen time now, and he's building on the lead. Let's see where they are at the end of lap 2. They're 0.1 seconds up. Lavreesen does his job as man 2. It's now to the third and final man. It's Jeffrey Hoogland who's putting more and more time in, looking to finish this with a flying final lap. He does, and Dutch dominance set to continue for now. They've qualified the fastest. They're into round 1, and they have set a time 0.275 seconds quicker. It's a 42.690. They'll be happy about that. Just under 1.5 seconds short of their own very quick world record, however. Keeping something in the bank for later on, maybe, despite the effort face there. So the teams qualified for the first round. Netherlands, France, Germany, Great Britain, the 4th fastest. Russia, Poland, Canada and Japan making up the draw for that first round.
We come to the first decision of this UCI track cycling.
So are you ready for the first rainbow jersey? It's coming up. The women's scratch race final will deliver the first world champion of this 2021 event. This is what happened last time. Kirsten Wild, unbeatable. Such a good sprinter. But it will be Maaike van der Deurne who will be representing Netherlands. A very hard act to follow is Wild. This is the start list. Look out for Martina Fidanza as well. Verena Eberhardt, Maria Martins, medalist in the past. Victoire Berthaud representing France. Nea Evans, such a strong racer. Anita Yvonne Stember, look out for her for Norway as well. Amber Joseph represents Barbados here. And Jennifer Valente, silver medalist last time in Berlin. And everybody readying for this first big bunch race in the endurance events. You can hear the cheering again as we hear the French athlete taking to the track. I think this is going to be a feature over the next few days. As Eberhardt, the Austrian we mentioned. 10 kilometers is the scratch race at this level. Very, very simple, 40 laps. The first across the line takes the rainbow jersey. If you're new to watching track cycling, this is the equivalent of a big bunch race on the flat. The fastest sprinter wins. Of course, it can get tactical. You can see riders trying to get out there and attack. Those who are maybe not ready to trust their own sprints. There's Alzbeta Batsikova. Everybody starting together, get together on the track, and when you hear the gun, that is when the race will begin. It will fly past. It's not an Olympic event, so no recent Olympic history to tell you about. There's Martina Fidanza. Last Italian world champion in this event was Rachele Barbieri in the 2017 Worlds in Hong Kong. Not easy to predict this one. One of the most unpredictable, you'd have to say, the whole of the Track Cycling World Championships. All eyes, though, on Victoire Berthaud. No French scrap race world champion since 2010. Gelon taking the victory then, as we see Tania Calvo. More of an endurance racer nowadays. He's taken a place in the sprints in the past. Yumi Kajihara. Hungary there are represented by Joanna Kitty Borisha. Nea Evans from Scotland, such a strong racer in any endurance event. And same for Jennifer Valente. Among the favourites, you'd have to say. Mexico represented by Victoria Velasco. From Ukraine there, Tatiana Klimchenko. And for the Czech Republic, Petra Sevichkova. Local eyes, as we already said, though, on Berthaud. Martina Fidanza, rider on track and road, just chooses to hang on a little longer there and start a warm-up lap, the first lap towards the back of the bunch. Doesn't want to be setting any pace early on. So 40 laps are on the board. The gun is ready to be fired, and we are off. So 10 kilometers to go, 40 laps in our first of the bunch races at these Tissot 2021 UCI World Track Cycling Championships. Can often be cagey affairs for a while, these races. It takes one attack to get things going, however. For now, each and every one of the riders rolling through, doing their turn, getting those legs going. Still have been plenty of time whilst we've been watching the team sprinting sprint on rollers and on turbo trainers. these riders having made their gear selections to suit their styles, and how they want to attack and approach the race. As in all track cycling, though, once that gear's on, it won't be changed. So just over a minute in. 40 laps went up on the board at the start. Who is going to succeed Kirsten Wild? Whatever happens, we are going to have a brand new world champion in this event. None of the previous winners are on the start list here. We do have two of the medalists from last time out, and Valente, who we saw from USA, and Martins from Portugal. So 5 laps in, 2 minutes ridden, no moves, no attacks. Riders still hiding. For example, the Italian Fidanza we saw hasn't come through into a turn yet. Sits in about 6th wheel for the moment. No huge pace either, as we see Nia Evans here just roll off. Now it's going to be the turn of Klimchenko. Turn 1, Setrichkova. And here, Fidanza finally gets her face in the wind. It's a very quick turn, though. Just get an inkling of whatever she's planning there. There are riders who are spending a couple of seconds on with their nose in the wind and then are disappearing to the very back. Some will be gambling all on a sprint. Will be using as much of their time, saving as much energy as possible. Despite the fact it hasn't been a huge pace so far. I told you it's a quick moving race, this, and we're already almost a quarter of the way through. 31 laps of 40 to go. Reminder that it is the first rainbow jersey that's going to be given out today. Klimchenko spent quite a bit of time at the front. There's Valente now, rider to watch out for. 26 years of age from San Diego. Has been a world champion previously in Pursuitic. It's 10 years ago, actually, that she began her career on the international stage by winning this very race at the Junior World Championships. No stranger to the top of the podium, Jennifer Valente. Haven't seen too much so far either of the Dutch rider. All of that pressure on Maaike van der Deurne to try and follow Kirsten Wild. Kirsten Wild, who, by the way, we are told is here. She had announced her retirement. Didn't quite go the way she wanted, however. She was due to retire on the road. The COVID problem meant that her team were expelled from the race she chose to retire at. Not the way you want to end an illustrious career, and no fault of her own, as we see Nia Evans there. There's a little gap behind, and well, there's a bunching up here. There's suddenly a bit of a lack of organisation in the bunch. The riders hanging around towards the top of the boards and looking at each other. No big dives down or attacks yet. 25 laps remaining. Group going away and threatening to take a lap yet. And the time for that does drift away quite quickly during a race like this, as we look at Fidanza again. Hardly seen the front so far. Klimchenko. He's raced this more from the front than, let's say, Fidanza. And now it's Valente. 6 minutes into the race, almost halfway through. First big award of these World Championships is just over 6 minutes from being made. Rainbow jerseys ready to be taken. First of 22 events to be contested by the 44 nations here in Roubaix in northern France this week. It's cagey, this one. We're looking at Valente then. One of the riders to watch. Said already a junior world champion in this discipline. Came 10 years ago. Senior world champion in pursuiting already. Know her ability, her capacity. Always an unpredictable affair, however, a scratch race, we know that. They're just over halfway through, 19 laps to go. Not one single attack yet, not one single move. A lot of people either trusting late attacks here or trusting their own sprints. Eberhardt, Austrian rider who just wheels off her turn after she's out of the back straight. Albanian rider Amber Joseph in the yellow. Also a rider to look out for is Fidanza, for an Italian team who cannot stop winning, no matter the discipline, no matter the sport this year, in fact. "17 laps to go as Evans is on the top. Still no moves, still no attacks. It's a very, very conservative race for the moment. A lot at stake. Back to racing at the highest level. Those who've missed out maybe at the Olympic Games or couldn't compete, this is their chance. This is their moment. And we're getting towards the decision moment here with 15 laps to go. There's Tania Calvo, represents Spain. 51 is Elżbieta Bacikova. Has been threatening on the top of the boards to dive down and come through a few times. But still no moves. Calvo now accelerates. Well, they wait. They're going to run out of time at this line. Anybody who can't trust their sprint has to think about it. Anybody who doesn't have the beating of the fastest to the line in the bunch has to get ready to go. 12 and a half laps remain. Victoria Velasco is the rider representing Mexico in the green. Little upping of the pace now. It's rarely been strung out whatsoever, though, this race. Those who are the fastest sprinters will have the fresher legs here, surely. Yet again, it gets tactical. Once more, it's bunched up. Can anybody take advantage of that? 11 laps to go. Long time since I've seen such a calm, tactical scratch race. It's also part of the game as well. Not every race here is the same. The unpredictability and that factor is high. And anything could happen now with 10 laps to go, a quarter of the race remaining. It's slowed up completely now. There's Fidanza. 10 minutes into the race. The second half of the race really has slowed up even more. have been looking around almost more at their opponents than the track in front of them. And perhaps just an illustration of what's at stake as everybody moves to the top. Nobody able to dive down yet. Now into the home straight, and is this the first move? Verena Eberhardt has a little bit of a gap now, and I think she's going to try and bury herself into this. This is where it now speeds up because they all have to chase her. 8 laps to go, and Verena Eberhardt is committed. Here we go. Pace is really up. The race is strung up for the first time. 7 laps to go. Eberhardt's going to knock off her effort, however, not successful. And it's taken until lap 33 for the first hint of a move from anybody. Once more it gets calm. Once more it's tactical. But here's the latest move. Looks as though that's Amber Joseph from Barbados. How committed is she? I'm not sure. Not very is the answer. 6 laps to go now. Hungry, thinking about this, and there's the first real sprint to get away. Fidanza thinks about chasing, looks to see if there's any company. It's the Hungarian rider, Borica, who's out there. Fidanza now going to chase after her, and behind they look around. Those who want to sprint don't want to chase, and this could be a dangerous move as Martina Fidanza goes all the way. Fidanza drops the rider from Hungary who was with her there. That was Borica, and Fidanza now, as they all look behind, has a ride away, and she's all on her own. Fidanza has this. They're looking at each other behind. They've missed the move. 3.5 laps to go now. Martina Fidanza looking to take Italy's first scratch race gold medal for a good long time. 4 years since Barbieri beat the rest, and here goes Fidanza. Surely she's got this now. Behind, they only start to get going now. 2 laps to go for Martina Fidanza. She's away. She's not going to be caught. 1.5 laps remaining in the first World Championship jersey. Surely is going to go to Italy. Fidanza just has to get her head down. The bell rings. 1 more lap to survive. We know that she was hanging on. We know that she was keeping her powder dry. But 1/2 lap to ride. Martina Fidanza is going to ride away with this. In the meantime, Valenti's attacking behind. Valenti's attacking, but look at Fidanza. She has it. Forza Italia again. Nothing can stop them. And Martina Fidanza is the world champion in the scratch race. Sprint for second place, won by Van der Deurne. It's another podium place for Valenti. But Martina Fidanza was the only one brave enough to go. The only one brave enough to attack. And that bravery is rewarded with a rainbow jersey. Well, they can do nothing wrong, whether it's the football, the volleyball, the road cycling, or now the track cycling. And Fidanza joins the winners' club. No surprise, she's happy about that. That's a good result too for Maaike van der Deurne. But all of the emotion, all the glory goes to Italy. It will be Fratelli d'Italia, the first national anthem we'll hear at these championships. It'll be the Italian flag yet again, flying higher than the best. And once more, it's an Italian who takes a rainbow jersey. She wanted to make a move at some point. She had to make it at the right time. And in the end, the only one brave enough to do it. Hugs all round, celebrations all round. And well, doesn't matter. No Kirsten Field in this event. Still a medal for the Netherlands. Maaike van der Deurne, second and up there on the podium. And for Jennifer Valenti, well, is that delight or disappointment? It's a third place. Second last time out. And she's on the podium again, but that 10th anniversary of her winning the Junior World Championship in the scratch race, not to be marked with a senior victory. Tears of joy and emotion. Italy are on top of the world yet again.
Yeah, congratulations, good job.
And that's nice to see. Well, good job indeed. It's all about bravery, really. Picking that moment to attack. Well, Valente didn't look as happy. Maybe understandable. Hats off to Joanna Kitty Borisha of Hungary. She was the first to go. Valente followed, looked around, had a gap, and put her foot down. She could even celebrate. Delight for the 21-year-old from Ponte San Pietro. Martina Fidanza is the world champion. She's won the scratch race, beating Maika van der Deurn and Jennifer Valente. Top 20 now on your screen. Borisha, of course, completely out of it after her effort and confirmation that Maria Martins was unable to take the start. Time to continue now. It's the first round of the women's team sprint. 5 heats to be taken on. Again, 3 laps here. Same process as we saw in the qualification. Now, the fastest 2 winning teams race for the gold and silver medals. The other 2 winning teams racing for the bronze medal. Nigeria here in a heat on their own, so they have to just focus on trying to set a time. Samuel taking on position 2 here. Bell will ring. And it's Ezi Ukpirasaraya who's forced to try and set that best time. Difficult, in all honesty, as we saw in qualifying, to compete with the top nations, the likes of Germany and Ukraine. Sorry, Germany and the Russian Cycling Federation. Well, it's a 55.734 for Nigeria. Ever so slightly slower than their qualification time. That was a 55.653. So we're underway, and we're about to see our first match sprint. This is the scene in the Jean Stablinski Velodrome in Roubaix. And our first match is between Great Britain and Poland. This is Heat 2. So the task here is to win and to set a fast time. Remember, top 2 winners with their fast times go into the race for the rainbow jersey. Millicent Tanner, Lauren Bate, Blaine Ridge Davis up against Marlena Karvachka, Ursula Woj, Nicolas Sibian. Great Britain starting in the home straight, Poland in the back straight. And now we watch the times and how they compare. It's a faster start for Great Britain. And you can see that, 0.248. Let's see how they settle in. It looks as though Poland have settled fairly well. Not able to claw back any more of the time. That's better from Poland halfway through. Remember, they need to race their hearts out here as fast as they can. It's not just about winning this, it's about setting the fastest time. They go to the line here. Poland are dragging this one back with half a lap to go now. Coming up to the finish line, it's going to be really tight in the finale. Oh, wow! Great Britain are through. Great Britain. Let's see what they're going to be racing for, though, because it's 0.09 the difference, and a 48.066 the time set by Great Britain. They were 3/10 quicker than in their qualification. Poland improving a heck of a lot, actually, by 6/10. Great Britain are qualified. What will they be racing for? So a really good close matchup in the first round proper here. This brand new, slightly longer format of the women's team sprint, and the parity that we've been crying out for years. And taking on a brand new Olympic cycle. And we now see Canada face Japan. A reminder here, we've had 8 teams in this first round. Fastest 2 winning teams race for the gold and silver medals. The other 2 winning teams will race for the bronze medal. The losers, they're classified from the times they set in the first round, which is this round. Of course, qualification, you can forget about that now. Times are important, even if you can't win here. Fastest of the losers, well, they get up into 5th place. All important in the UCI rankings and the grand scheme of things, even if there's immediate disappointment. And they're off, so Canada versus Japan in the second of our match team sprints. Lauriane Jeunesse, Kelsey Mitchell, Sarah Orban representing the Canada team in the blue, white and red. For Japan, in their red and white, it's Fuko Umekawa, Ryu Ota and Minasato. It's Canada who are quicker. And 0.8 seconds as well. Building their lead. This is looking good for Canada to at least win this matchup. A second ahead as they go into the last lap, but they've got to keep going. Job's not done yet. They have to set a fast time. Remember, the time set by Great Britain was a 48.066. That, in the meantime, is a 47.950. That's a very good time from Canada. Fastest of the 2 qualifiers so far. So our next matchup, an important one this between Ukraine and Russian Cycling Federation. So if it's going to go to times, we saw Surely Russian Cycling Federation is the favourites here. They've got to concentrate on setting a time again. And then Germany will race in their own heat. They just need to see what time they need to set that to make sure that they reach the final. They've already broken the world record this morning. I'd say this evening. So Russian Cycling Federation lining up with Daria Zhmeleva, Anastasia Voinova and Natalia Antonova. Down on the countdown. On the other side of the track, it's Ukraine, Lyubov Basova, Alla Biletska, Alexandra Lovenyuk. Second slowest in qualifying. There's a big difference between them. Over 3 seconds in qualifying. Russia should have this. Oh, false start. The Russian Cycling Federation with the false start. So as I said, Russian Cycling Federation should have that. But the start has to be correct. So they'll be back, we'll set up again. And this time they have to get it right. Everything just being checked. Mechanics making sure no issues. Wheels in true. No problems with pressure. Big job to reset mechanically and mentally. Has to be one of the biggest worries about being an athlete at this level using these start gates. Picture of concentration in the meantime. Ukraine just have to go about their own business. Oh, we're hearing in the meantime, in the heat involving Japan and Canada, there's been a relegation. Canada have been relegated from their particular heat. So Japan, who had finished second there, Canada relegated. That could change things as far as the times are concerned. Let's get back to the job in hand here now. The Russian Cycling Federation are having to get this one right. And they're out this time, that's better. They just have to settle into the job now, do the job they're expected to do, which is to beat Ukraine here. They are the fastest on paper, we know that. And they're the fastest by 0.773 seconds at the first half a lap. Let's see how things settle down now. Increasing their lead to over a second. This is good from Russian Cycling Federation. And with that relegation we're hearing about for Canada, it's going to change things in terms of the winners and the times. that the Russian Cycling Federation would have been too worried if things had gone according to what they said in qualify. They'd have backed themselves to meet the Germans in the final. Again, if they could perform. But this is looking very much like the qualification time difference. It's huge. It's over 3 seconds again. And Russian Cycling Federation can safely say are qualified. They will race for medals. So qualification confirmed there on that graphic, 47.043. Not too different from the time they set in qualification earlier on tonight. It was a 47.031. And we are now about to see the world record holders. The world record holders, Germany, earlier this evening. If you were absent, if you're away, if you're unable to watch, they woke us all up here in Roubaix, the first big moment of these 2021 World Track Championships. And it was a 46.511 for Germany. Still hearing deliberations in my ear about the relegation, so I'll have to take a bit of a time check on what's going to happen exactly with the times. For now, if Canada are relegated, it's pretty simple for Germany. They just have to get a 48.6066. That's better than 48.066, which was the time set by Great Britain. Currently the second fastest qualification time if you take out the Canadians. Germany know what they have to do. They race against themselves here, they race against the clock. If they race to their ability, they should be heading into the gold medal match up against the Russian Cycling Federation and a chance to retain those rainbow stripes. Let's see how they're getting on. Clock is up. 25.28 there. Remember, 46.511, that world record that was set before. 32 there at the end of lap 2. And Emma Hintzer, who was on fire early tonight, is going for it again. And there they go. It's a 46.358. They've done it once more. No stopping the Germans here, and if there was any doubt, Germany have gone into the final with a brand new world record again. They've shaved almost 2/10 off that. Germany into the final. And there they will face the Russian Cycling Federation for the rainbow jersey. Well, absolutely superb. Absolutely superb from Germany. A 46.358 was looking good after that lap 2, wasn't it? Exceptional stuff from Germany. One of those sporting teams who are sort of running out of superlatives for so good at this for so long now. The team sprint is theirs. Emma Hintzer, one of the biggest names, again powering them home to a brand new world record. Time for the men's team sprint first round now. We've just seen the women in action. And we will begin with match sprinting straight away. Well, the Dutch will have an easier job courtesy of their strong qualification. They'll be ready to be in action after setting the fastest time. This is what we've got coming up then. Great Britain versus the Russian Cycling Federation. Germany versus Poland. France will take on Canada. The Netherlands will meet Japan. Of course, the fastest qualifiers against the slowest qualifiers in Japan and Netherlands. So these first couple of match sprints we expect to be the closest if it's to go to time. And there wasn't too much to separate Great Britain and the Russian Cycling Federation qualification, pardon me. 0.4 of a second, just about favouring Great Britain. Fielding, Turnbull and Truman up against Yakushevsky, Sharapov and Gladyshev. Men's team sprint, first round underway. Great Britain versus the Russian Cycling Federation. Same drill here as with the women. Win your match and then try and set the fastest time. Two fastest winners race for the Rainbow Stripes. And after man one, it's Great Britain who are in the lead here, but the Russians pulling them back halfway through the race. The bell about to be taken now, and that lead getting narrower, just over 1/10 now, as Russian Cycling Federation are improving. Let's see where they go. There's not much to match them, is there? Oh, it's going to be tense, it's going to be tight. They come to the line now, they come to the line, and it's just about gone to the Russian Cycling Federation. Great Britain are out of any possibilities of getting in the top four. What a close matchup that was. And the Russian Cycling Federation are in with a shout. They progress into the next round. Which final will it be, though? For bronze or for gold? Well, slower in qualification than Great Britain, but it's now that it matters. And Russian Cycling Federation, with a 43.380, have beaten Great Britain and knocked them out of the team sprint at these World Championships. Both teams, incidentally, going faster than they did in qualifying. Russian Cycling Federation are bringing the aggression, as you could see, and they certainly brought their A game. Well, if they needed inspiration, just look to what their women's team did. Germany are up against Poland here. Joachim Eilers has been rested for this particular matchup. He's represented, or replaced I should say, by Mark Juric. Daniel Rochna has come into the Polish team too. Couple of changes then for these teams. Now let's see where they go. Germany are away in the home straight, Poland in the back straight. Poland strafing straight out of turn 4 and into the home straight for their half lap. They're a quarter of a second down on the Germans there. And that lead has grown as we go into lap 2. Man to his Bürtiker still. Bell rings. This time it's up to Juric, the replacement for Eilers. Trying to drive it home. Gap has got a little smaller though, and Poland are in the shout here. Not enough to take the victory though. And a 43.3 means that Germany are through, and they are the fastest qualifiers so far. Is that going to be enough to give them a chance to race for the rainbow bands? 43.3 as opposed to the Russian Federation's 43.38. If it's going to go to qualification time, and we assume that Netherlands and France take wins, those times are not going to be good enough. But let's see. The French have to do it against Canada. The Netherlands, who imagine will beat Japan, but they've still got to set a time. And you can hear that noise building again. The French supporters making themselves heard as the French athletes try to get themselves up for this. Olympic bronze medalists, remember. Florian Grengbo, Sébastien Vigier and Ryan Elal. There is Elal, the man to finish things off. Vigier there will be man two. Grengbo on your screen, the 21-year-old. Been a national champion since the juniors. Here he's on the world stage. Up against Canada, Ryan Dodzic, Nick Wham, and then Hugo Barrett will be their third and final man. Dodzic, mustachioed on the right-hand side as we look at it and ready. Up against Grengbo for the first lap. French are away, and listen to the noise here. Listen to them go. And the French are the fastest at the half-lap stage. Canada building their speed, but France building their lead. Man two here is Vigier. French coach cries as loud as their fans. And now time for Elal to finish this off. They lead by a second here. Surely France are into a final. But which final is it going to be? I think this is looking good, very good to go and contest the rainbow bands. Let's see as they get to the line. A 42, 4, 6, 7, and France will race for the rainbow bands. Allez les Bleus indeed. They might have something else multicoloured to cheer about by the end of the night. So the home cheer on day one is being provided by the host nation's team sprinters. Oh, the Canadians were given a lesson there. Over 1.4 seconds the difference at the end of that ride. Canadian time, the slowest we've seen of anybody involved in these matches so far. The French, though, the quickest, and that was the key. As it stands, on paper, it's France versus Germany. But we all know that the Netherlands are up next. The Netherlands will take on Japan. Unless there's a disaster for those in orange, we think we know the winner of this heat. There was a big difference between them in qualifying. Almost 2 seconds. You're talking about the world champions, the Olympic champions. Jeffrey Hoogland, Harry Levreesen and Roy van den Berg. And they're up against Kohei Terasaki, Kento Yamasaki and Yuta Obara. Can Japan pull off a shock? Netherlands, I think, will be thinking of the time, won't they? They have to beat Germany's 43.3 to qualify for the rainbow jersey match. And Netherlands are away on the left-hand side. Japan aren't, however, it's a false start. They'll be made to wait. This was the false start. Slipping and sliding out of that start gate there for Japan. False start there. So deep breaths, double check the mechanics, and go again. This time no mistake allowed for Japan. Double checks. Can't afford that same mistake. Proving that it's a team effort, this, not just the athletes. Well, for the Dutch, they've been here before. They've been in big finals. They've been in big moments. With all the respect to their opponents here. With all the respect to where they are in this competition here. They've been in bigger events recently. Might explain why they still look calm, why they still look relaxed. All eyes on the Japanese. But all the process starts again. Psych yourself up. Hype the others up. Make sure everything's technically correct. And get that preparation down to the second. Talking of which, 5 to the start now. And the Netherlands are away. This time Japan are away with them. We are on in the final first round heat in the men's team sprint. Rainbow jerseys not far away. And at the minute, Netherlands are on their way to competing for them. Let's see how they go as this goes on. Man 1 is done. Half a second up here. Levreesen has half a lap to go. Then it'll be time for Hoogland. Levreesen peels off too. The lead's over a second. The Netherlands are on their way in. Now we'll focus on the time. Netherlands are going to go into the next round. But what will they be riding for? I think it is going to be a rainbow jersey. They're the fastest qualifiers, 42.301. And it will be the Netherlands versus France for the world title. So in the men's team sprint, everything fairly clear. Germany will take on the Russian Cycling Federation. That'll be for the bronze medal. And then we will see France, the home team, up against the Netherlands. And the big figure of Jeffrey Hoogland, driving the Netherlands to a chance for a 4th successive rainbow jersey. So confirmation that for gold, France will take on Netherlands. For bronze, Germany will meet the Russian Cycling Federation. All the 4 losing finalists, with the time they set here, will qualify them in the top 8. A very happy French coaching setup. We know that scratch race is more of a lottery. Didn't go for them there with Berthaud. As far as their more controllables, they've had a good night so far. Now then, in the women's qualification, and Canada went well, but then in the first round they also went well. Relegated though for an irregular change. Look at that. Second rider cannot advance beyond that line until the first rider has passed. So Canada relegated and taken out of the running. We will not see them racing for any of the medals. It's past someone's bedtime, but there's still action to come here. We of course have our first rainbow jersey to be given out, which should be coming up in a moment. The first rendition of, well, how many of Fratelli d'Italia maybe at these World Championships? Had a few of those, haven't we? Whether it be the road or in other sports as well. And the Olympic Games on the track. And then we've got the team sprint finals. We've just seen who will face who. Bit of team pursuing to come as well. We're going to have the first round of the men's team pursuit before we get to those team sprint finals. So we're about to see our first medal ceremony. And here's the winner. Here's Martina Fidanza of Italy.
Tell us how you feel.
I'm feeling so good now. And it's a big emotion, and I don't know, I can't believe it now, but it's okay, it's special.
What was your strategy for the final laps?
I don't know, when it's 5 laps to go, there's a space between me and the group, so I go fast and I win.
And you win. Thank you very much, Martina.
Thank you very much.
Oh, she went fast. She went faster than the others, and she did win. From a good cycling family. Her father Giovanni was a cyclist. Pro in the late 1980s and throughout most of the 1990s. Of course, we've seen her sister Arianna on the road as well. And on the track too. That fanfare means one thing. And it's time for the presentation of the jersey.
Mesdames, Messieurs, votre attention
and the
pour
medals.
la cérémonie protocolaire des championnats du monde piste UCI Tissot et l'épreuve Scratch Femme.
Ladies and gentlemen, the award ceremony of the Tissot UCI Track Cycling World Championships of the Scratch Women.
Les médailles et le maillot de champion du monde sont remis par monsieur Enrico Della Casa, vice-président de l'Union cycliste internationale.
And the vice president of the UCI, Enrico Della Casa, will be presented
by Mr.
will be there to
Enrico
present
Della Casa,
the jerseys and the
UCI
medals.
Vice President.
à la 3e place et gagnante de la médaille de bronze.
In 3rd place and winner of the bronze medal, Jennifer Valente, United States of America.
26-year-old Californian Jennifer Valente, bronze medalist. Down a step on the podium from last year in Berlin. Still up there amongst the world's best in the scratch race.
Gagnante de la médaille d'argent.
In
First medal for the USA at these championships.
The silver medal, Maaike van der Duin, Netherlands.
Maaike van der Duin. Silver medal for her. First of many medals, I'm sure, for Netherlands, if things go to plan at these 2021 Track Cycling World Championships.
Italy.
Martina Fidanza, the latest in her family to be a cycling star. And to prove it, she's going to take home a rainbow jersey.
Se voit remettre le maillot de championne du monde par Enrico
Her older sister Ariana,
vice-président de l'Union,
already a junior world champion back in the day. The points race, she's gone on to be more of a road racer, but Martina Fidanza here, 21 years of age, just outside of Bergamo, proper cycling country in northern Italy. She's the latest in an increasingly long line of Italians to pick up huge sporting honours in the world level this year.
The flowers and the watch provided by Tissot.
So close in Minsk at the European Games a couple of years ago as a teenager.
Sports delegate of the department and council and major.
She is now a fully fledged, full-blown world champion at elite level. She has the jersey, she has the gold medal, and here's her moment, the Italian national anthem.
The national anthem of Italy. Let's give them a round of applause. The three new.
Well, a very short rendition of the Italian national anthem.
Allez, encore des applaudissements, public de Roubaix pour saluer le podium.
And Martina Fidanza is the world champion.
Martina Fidanza, championne du monde pour l'Italie. Médaille d'argent pour Maaike van der Duin des Pays-Bas, Jennifer Valente des États-Unis et médaille de bronze.
Well, a huge moment and plenty to celebrate for Martina Fidanza, the latest in her family to take on cycling honours at the top level. There's a family photo. And our first rainbow jersey of the 22 to be awarded at these Track World Championships has been given out.
The Russian Cycling Federation against the team of Poland over a distance of 4 kilometers.
Avec ce premier podium qui apparaît sur
well, a moment of glory for her.
Du Vélodrome avec Fidanza qui est forcément toute heureuse de ce magnifique titre.
The result of all that work. The poker she had to play in the race. It's one of the most conservative we've seen at this level for a long time. But it all paid off. The courage to attack rewarded. And Martina Fidanza is a world champion. Autograph already required. Catapulted to superstardom in an instant.
And I have a few more. This one just for the video. Can you hold that?
Okay, thank you.
A few happy sponsors there. Time to get on with the racing then. And this now is an event that we will see move into tomorrow. This is the men's team pursuit first round. We've already had the qualification in the early session of the day. And well, we just saw Italian glory there. No prizes for guessing who's the favourite for this. We're going to see Russian Cycling Federation against Poland first. 4 kilometres, of course, the distance in team pursuiting. Switzerland versus Germany. Then France-Denmark promises to be a big affair. Italy will face Great Britain. And a reminder that the winners of the matches go into the finals. Those two big matches I was telling you about there, Italy, Great Britain, and France, Denmark. The Danes, the world champions. Italy, you would say, the favourites. Well, let's get back into pursuiting, though. First time we've seen this at a Worlds on the telly since February 2020. I'm going to do so with Poland versus the Russian Cycling Federation. A couple of riders here in the Polish team coming off the back of long road seasons. The likes of Adam Banaszek and Szymon Sajnok. Sajnok riding at the top division level. Riding for one of the denominated world teams. Russian Cycling Federation. They're here with their track specialists. Gleb Syriza, Lev Gonov, Igor Shev and Ivan Novodolski. Up against this force. Sajnok there, Rudyk, Kravchuk and Banaszek. Set up and ready to go. But in these first two rounds, they're riding for time. An opportunity maybe to race for bronze. You have to set a fast time to be able to do that. So let's see where we stand after the first lap. Russian Cycling Federation almost half a second up. Remember, as opposed to the sprint, this really is a marathon. 4 kilometers. Chance to go out too hard too soon and really mess things up if you cannot hold it towards the end. Swinging ever so slightly further away from Poland, however. And it continues to do so. Coming up towards that first kilometre now. When we get to the first kilometre, quarter of the way through with a 0.7 second swing in favour of the Russian Cycling Federation. Reminder that the world record has been pulled ridiculously low, hasn't it, in the last few months? This discipline continues to excite and entertain and set new barriers. 3 minutes, 42.032 by Italy at the Tokyo Olympic Games on the 4th of August. Russian Federation coach ready to transmit the orders. And they're riding well here, outpacing the Poles by over 2 seconds. How long are they going to keep their 4 men together? That's the question. That bar keeps moving away, doesn't it? The Russian Cycling Federation continue to increase their lead. Reminder here that even if the Russian Cycling Federation wins this pursuit match, they'll want to set a time. If they're going well, there's a real chance for a ride for a bronze medal. Laps to go. Poland down to 3, the Russians also down to 3. Both teams now in that period where they have to hold it. They cannot lose another man or things dramatically change, whatever their situation. Into the final kilometre. It's a 2:54.752 for 3Ks for the Russian Cycling Federation. Poland almost 3 seconds down here. They're well on their way to losing this pursuit match. Starting to claw a little bit of time back, but it's not going to be enough. That's unless there's been a wild miscalculation by Russia. Let's see where they go. 2.3 seconds the last time we checked. It's 2.1 now. Second gone the way of Poland almost in that last kilometre. Bell rings, final lap coming up. It's a 2.1 second lead. It's going to be victory for the Russian Cycling Federation in this first of the heats in the men's team pursuit first round. Is the time going to be good enough to see them go into the bronze medal match? We're about to find out as they come up to the final part of their ride. They've set a 3:54.030. Poland are beaten. Russian Cycling Federation are the victors. Thumbs up indeed. Well, the handshakes all round. That's their job done now. Poland will not be competing for that bronze medal. None of these teams involved in the medal shake-up, of course, at the Olympics. Talked about that Italian team. The same team that rode in the qualification today. Sonni, Ganna, Lamon and Milan. A Danish team that is very much changed, actually, for these World Championships. Australia aren't here, given all that's going on with COVID. And they finished in the bronze medal position there. Let's wait and see for the Russian Cycling Federation as far as bronze medal is concerned, in terms of an opportunity to ride for it. And they've done their job and they've beaten their immediate opposition. Now we go to round heat 2. Switzerland were already in the home straight, and they're going to be up against the team just lining up in the back straight. 45 seconds till we start with Germany. The opposition for Vogel, Thibaut, Rög and Imhoff. There is Claudio Imhoff. Very much a track racing specialist. So is Theo Reinhardt, former World Madison champion. Kolb, Heinrich and Buch Granko. teammates.
Geht schon, Sven, geht schon. 2 Sekunden.
So a regional battle, Switzerland versus Germany, and one where they were close on the timesheets in qualification too. There's an opportunity to ride for bronze if you can be up there in the fastest times. Remember, the winners of the next 2 rounds, Italy, Great Britain, and France, Denmark heats, will contest the rainbow jersey. 2 best losing times that then get pitted against the 6 other times that are taken in these rounds. 4 other times, pardon me, 6 in total. We'll get the maths right. We'll go into day 2, I'm sure. Early lead for Switzerland. Really good track pedigree in the last few years from this nation. The construction of their home velodrome in Grenken, where we really recently had the European Championships, has gone a long way. Another track down the road, and the UCI headquarters in Aigle as well. Swiss track cycling has been improving exponentially in the last few years. Germany are improving ever so slightly in this ride, however. They're getting closer, and you can see that now reflected in the times. 0.22 seconds is the difference. Swiss coach looks on, maybe a little more nervously. Both teams conserving their full lineups of 4. That's better from Switzerland, who just put their foot on the gas again, and they're just over half a second up on the Germans. Now really starting to put some time in them. Long-time producers of top time trialists, Switzerland. On the boards, we've seen some tremendous riders come off the boards and go onto the road to represent their country as well, the likes of Kung being one of them. Switzerland halfway through are over a second up on the Germans. Make that 1.4 seconds now. Two and a half kilometers into this. Both teams now down to 3. Peeling off for Switzerland is Alex Vogel. The man who's gone for Germany, number 181, who is Pierre-Pascal Kuip. They've got to hold it together now. Same for both teams. Into that period of real hurt. Hanging on to the effort rather than driving it on. Anybody who's ever tried pursuing will tell you it's one of the most painful things you can do to yourself. It's punishment for 4 kilometers. Withstand the pain. Say no to that lactic acid and put out the power at the same time, while trying to keep stable enough to follow a plan and stick to it. These approaches to pursuing are planned in almost military fashion by the coaches. Into the last lap we go, and it's Switzerland who look set to beat Germany. What is their time going to be as far as a possible bronze medal ride goes? It's coming close to what we saw earlier. It's a 3:52.569. Switzerland then, quicker than Germany. They win the second heat. And that is a good second and a half quicker than the time set by the Russian Cycling Federation. So Switzerland in with an opportunity and with a chance. They have to wait to see what the losing times are from heats 3 and 4, which are about to see the fight to go into the final. 3:52.569. Remember that. Could be a key time in around 10 minutes' time. Concentration from athletes and coaches. There's so much going into these pursuit rides. There's the obvious physical characteristics, but the research, the gear, the aerodynamics, it's taken years to develop. Almost seems harsh to judge it over between 3.5 and 4 minutes. Now you can hear the applause building in the background, I'm sure. That is because France are in with a shout of making the final. France are going to be up against the world champions, though. Denmark are their opponents. It's a strong French team. Benjamin Thomas, Valentin Tabellion, Thomas Denis and Thomas Bouda. A couple of riders who've gone on to other things on the road as well as track. And Thomas in particular is the current French national time trial champion. Rides for the Groupama FDJ team on the road. Denmark, they've got a mix of roadies and pure trackies as well, but a very similar style to the Great British traditional scene. Denmark are all about time trialing, track racing, and then maybe transferring it to the road if they have the right riders. Struggling with the right gear here. That might be a little unnerving. There's Rasmus Lund. Rasmus Lund Pedersen. Colleague just sat there waiting. Something was the issue there. In the meantime, Matthias Malmberg must wait. Frederick Bevord alongside him. It's the same wait for the French as well. And the clock for the minute is paused. And it now starts. The countdown is on. 45 seconds till we start. Countdown button is pressed once we get the red flag and we know that that bike's in. Matthias Malmberg with a fist bump. We've all been doing that now, haven't we, for 18 months. This one meant in a very different manner. Ready for action, ready to go. Denmark, one of the top pursuing nations in the world, but with a much changed lineup to the one that took a medal at the Olympic Games. Silver then. Only Rasmus Lund Pedersen survives in this team from that lineup. They're up against France, they're up against the host nation. Here we go, a real battle. The winner goes into the fight for the rainbow jersey. And it's a solid start from France. It means very, very little, of course, in the context of 4 kilometers, but France, after the first lap, have gone out like a house on fire. Half a second up. That's a big gap for the opening lap there. Certainly up against the Danish team here. And this French team much more used to riding together, however. A new quartet for Denmark, and something we mentioned at the start of the night, that a new Olympic cycle, things change, certainly with the World Championships coming so close after an Olympic Games. The pattern's continuing though. France are putting more time into Denmark. Now we're getting up to the kilometre mark. We'll get that kilometre time to flash up here. France certainly clearly in the lead, you can see that. The Danes at the shot, 1.254 seconds. Every time they come into the home straight, the French are being cheered. can hear the French coach screaming as well. He's happy with things so far. Simple task is to win the pursuit here. .645. And the gap has only been growing one way. The Danes not able to get settled and pull anything back. Interesting to see how this goes and if there's a chance of a catch here. Well, they're getting up to within half a lap now. Almost there in the same straight as they came around the corner. 2.364. Halfway through this pursuit, it's only going in one direction. Barring a huge collapse from the French, they're on their way into tomorrow's final. They can just about see the Danes now when they cross the final turn each time and they go into the straight. Almost 3 seconds the gap. Coming up to 6 laps to go. And it's a 3-second gap now. Danish team down to 3, the French are all together at 4. Remember, they can give everything here. There's an overnight between this round and the next round. Doesn't look like Denmark are coming back. The Danes have to ride for their time to have an opportunity to take the bronze medal if they want. But it's all about France, this. And we're coming into the final kilometre with France continuing to build their lead. This is a spectacular performance. 3.607. Bouda, Denis, Tabellon, Thomas, they're all still together. It's a classy but powerful quartet, this for France. 4.3 seconds. Coming up to the final 2 laps now. Is it going to last that long, though? Because they can see them. They have radar on. Missile lock is about to be placed. 2 laps to go and France can see the Danes. Can they catch them? What a spectacular end this would be to the race. The French are still going, though. All 4 riders rolling through and taking turns. The bell rings in the meantime. France have this victory. There's no doubt about that. They're going through to the next round. A reminder that it's 3:42.032, that world record set by the Italians. That's not going to be broken here, but it's going to be a remarkable ride. The French celebrate as they come through, and they fly into the final. Denmark soundly beaten, a 3:47.816. France goes supersonic on home soil. And that is a big message to send out to the Italians. They will be favourites against Great Britain, no doubt about that. But France, well, they are through. Denmark, the world champions, soundly beaten. Oh, that really got things going, didn't it? Lovely to hear all of that excitement again. I know I said this early on, but I'm going to repeat myself. Apologies for doing that. We've missed all this so much. The French fans able to cheer on their number on home soil. And this is a great opportunity for a first French team pursuit victory in a long time. The last time they were in the final was 22 years ago. In the men's team pursuit, it was in 1999 in Berlin. But here are the stars. And they're all ready to go. Slight change in the lineup. Liam Bertazzo comes in this time. Consonni. And there is the man of the moment. Top Ganna. Golden helmets for those who rode to the golden moment at the Olympic Games. These are the Brits they're up against, hoping to cause a huge upset. Oliver Wood, Charlie Tanfield, Ethan Vernon, Ethan Hayter. The latter has been enjoying a huge moment of it. On the road, he's a teammate of a man he faces here in Filippo Ganna. Now they're enemies. Italy favourites to face France for the world title, but they've got to get past the Brits. They're hoping to cause a huge upset. And we are off in the fourth and final heat in the men's team pursuit first round. Italy the big favourites. They can do no wrong in this discipline. But it's Great Britain who ride the fastest first half of that. Let's see how this goes. It's a fast start, in fact, from Great Britain. Is that the tactic here? To try and put Italy on the back foot? We will see. If it was, it hasn't lasted long. Italy now in front. And building that lead. 2 laps in, they lead by 0.4 of a second. Huge powerhouses in the shape of Bertazzo, Consonni, Milan and Ganna. In the shape of Consonni, Ganna and Milan in particular, they're also coming off the back of strong road seasons at the very top level too. This is a time of year that will see them in good flying form. Right, British is a mixture of track specialists and riders who ride domestically on the road, apart from Ethan Hayter, who is a top division rider in Italy, are really settling in quickly now. They're putting a lot of time into Great Britain so early on. 1.5 seconds. You wonder if the Italians want to finish the job and go home for the night. Those golden helmets and golden bikes flying through the night in this Roubaix velodrome. Bertazzo, the only man here who wasn't involved in that final quartet, who took victory. Called Villa Luxon. When we had the last Worlds, Italy were on their way up, weren't they, in this discipline? They took bronze, several times bronze with this setup, racing together since they were very young. This Italian 4, 5, there's about 6 in the pool of riders they generally use. The 4 on the boards today, 3 were Olympic gold medalists in Tokyo just a couple of months ago. Only Francesco Lamon has been rested for this. Italy looking well on to make a catch before the end of this race if things continue. Great Britain already down to 3. You can see there's about a quarter of the track between them. Every pedal stroke gets them closer. Are Italy ready to make a statement? Let's see. The 3:42.032 is the world record time. Imagine that with the final still to come, if they were to make the catch, they would want to stop things. But they're on their way here, Italy. I think they might have just taken their foot off the gas a little bit. Let's see. They're coming into the final lap in a moment. The bell will ring. Italy are well ahead. They're going to win this. They are going to go into that next round. They're not going to trouble the scorers with their own world record. That goes past. Italy will meet France for the rainbow bands. The Italians with a 3:46.760 are qualified. Still the fastest qualifying time. 4.6 seconds short of their world record. But Italy have done their job. They're through. They've dispatched the Brits. Great Britain not troubling the scorers. So Italy are through. They'll face France. And after that very special moment from the French, that dominating performance, you've seen that Italy have competition. The question is, what were the Italians holding back? Well, a really fast start from Great Britain first lap. Turned out that that wouldn't be backed up. Italy taking control very, very quickly after that. So job done for Italy. And more rousingly so for the French, maybe a little more unexpected. And this is the situation we'll have tomorrow. France will take on Italy for gold, for the rainbow jersey, whereas Denmark, the winners of the rainbow jerseys last time, will face Great Britain for bronze. And talking about bronze, talking about Great Britain, we're now ready for the finals for the women's team sprint. First of all, bronze medal will be up for grabs. Great Britain will take on Japan. After that, it will be Germany against the Russian Cycling Federation. Germany hoping to win gold. New team for Great Britain. If they can get a place on the podium, I think they'll be pretty happy about that. First Worlds together. But they're up against a Japanese team of Umekawa, Sato, Ota. Remember, this is much more fast and furious than what we were just watching. 3 laps, 750 meters. Great Britain, Japan, a bronze medal up for grabs. Britain starting the home straight, Japan in the back straight. Looks as though the Brits are ever so slightly quicker out of the blocks. Oh yeah, good 7/10 there. First rider for Great Britain is done. 1.131. It's a very good start. Japan have to recover very quickly because at the halfway stage the gap has been increased. 1.240. Great Britain on their way to a bronze medal as it stands, but the bell rings now and it's last lap time. Distance has been foreshortened ever so slightly, but Great Britain, barring a disaster here, are on their way to their first medal of the championships. The Japanese are coming back though. 8/10 are in it. It's going to be tighter than the line when we expected, but Great Britain are going to have their first medal of the championships. A 48.059, and it comes in the women's team sprint. An event they haven't won outright since Manchester 2008. Sinead Reid and Victoria Pendleton back then. But here Great Britain with the new trio take bronze. Japan attacking it, but attacking it late. Getting to within just under half a second of the end. So cheers for those watching on of a British persuasion in the crowd. Is it going to be the German fans or those following the Russian Cycling Federation who are going to be cheering next? History says Germany, queens of this event. They've gone through different makeups of the team, of course, for that last World Championship medal, heartbreakingly so, given what happened to Christina Vogel. Here's Emma Hinze, Pauline Sophie Grabosch and Lea Sophie Friedrich, hoping to defend the title that was won by the same trio in Berlin. They're up against the Russian Federation here. No medal for them for 2 years. Schmeleva was involved, is on the bike again. Remember, Germany so fast, breaking their world record earlier on, 46.358. Russian Cycling Federation are up though. Is that about a change? Germany getting closer, halfway through the race, but it's very, very, very tight. Germany just about take the lead now going into the final lap, and now they're looking for their finisher to finish it. Germany going, looking to see what they can do with Friedrich. Friedrich trying to go to the line. It's half a second up here. Germany do it, and Germany with another brand new world record. They can't stop themselves today. The World Championship rainbow bands, and the gold medal goes to Germany. 46.064. Grabosch, Hinze, Friedrich. Germany are the world champions again. What a ride, and another brand new world record. They don't start quite as quick as the opposition. I think we've learned that from today. But my, do they get quicker as the laps go by. Oh, what an opening day we're having in Roubaix. We've seen all the excitement for the host nation, France, and we've seen the German team sprint women break repeatedly their own world record. No wonder he's pleased. They, tonight, will be celebrating. They'll be wearing rainbow jerseys in a bit as well. And this will be nice. It was very different when everybody was out there in Tokyo and they were beaten in the final. Emma Hinze was part of the pairing with Lea Friedrich there. This is how it's happened as far as the final classification is concerned. Germany, Russia and Great Britain the podium. They're head and shoulders above the rest at the moment. Germany in the women's team sprint. To the men's team sprint final now, where there's another nation who's been pretty much head and shoulders above everybody else. That's Netherlands, and they'll be facing France for gold. For bronze first, we'll see Germany with another opportunity to get themselves on a podium. Again, up against, you guessed it, the Russian Federation. This time, it's a repeat of what we had in the final there for the women, but for bronze, as far as the men are concerned. So Joachim Eilers, after being rested, is back in to finish things off. Not involved on the podium were either the Russian Cycling Federation or the German squad at the Olympic Games. Germany then, and we have a false start. Oh, he's a busy man at the minute. German sprint coach. Here was that false start. It was on the Russian Federation side. Well, these last couple of races on the menu for today. Just gone 9:20 in the evening here in Roubaix in the north of France. These riders know that in the next few minutes, big decisions will be made by them, maybe by the equipment in some cases. False start there, and that start gate, the nightmare of many. In the case of Germany and Russian Federation here, it's a bronze medal that's at stake, and German coaches already happy with the fact, I'm sure, that they have taken gold in the women's side of things.
Okay, it was my mistake, yeah. Okay.
Deep breaths. Feel the tension. To see that the German coach is getting a telling off. Emotions maybe getting a little too much. Nerves and tension up there. Adrenaline will already be flowing after what we just saw. Now both Joachim Eilers and Stefan Bürtiger have both been medalists before. In the case of Bürtiger, he's a world champion in the team sprint. Good 8 years ago now. Eilers in the team on a couple of occasions when bronze medals were won. Both Yvelines were there 6 years ago, and then London the following year. Can Eilers take a third bronze in this discipline? Up against the Russian team here, who were bronze medalists with different names 2 years ago. They pulled off the false start. It's Germany who have the fastest first half a lap, and they continue to build on that at the end of the first full lap. 0.3 seconds halfway through. Germany now coming to take the bell first, and they do so half a second ahead as Joachim Eilers now looks to try and finish things off. Off he is like a bullet into the back straight. Joachim Eilers looking to take bronze for Germany. It'll be his third bronze if he can do it. There they go, they're across the line. Germany have it. It's comfortable in the end. Bronze goes to the Germans. Half a second of a gap. A 43.141. Germany on the podium. They have the bronze medal. Fast, furious stuff from the Germans. And they will be on the podium when we see it in just a few minutes' time. So false start and then a loss. Not a superb bronze medal match at all, really, for the Russian Federation. A positive spin of things will have to be taken from how they performed until that point. But Germany have it here. And we now await the rainbow jersey contest. For a fourth successive gold, the Netherlands roll onto the track. That's the aim. But they're going to be up against a team that's cheered on by those who have managed to turn up to Roubaix tonight to follow the French. They're big names, they're Olympic champions, they're world champions on multiple occasions. Roy van den Berg, with Harry Lavrezen and Jeffrey Hoogland, up against Olympic bronze medalist Ryan Elal, Sébastien Vigier, and Florian Grengbo. Netherlands in the Olympic final beat the old British team that is no longer together for these World Championships. Today they face the French, who were the bronze medalists there. The Dutch should share the favourites into the final few seconds. Can they make it 4 successive rainbow jerseys, the Netherlands? And the Dutch are off. Only in history have French teams won 4 team sprints in a row at World Championships, and the French are defending their honour. It's a very good first half a lap for them, even though the Netherlands are up. End of the first one, they go, and it's 0.062 is the difference. Lavresen is firing away now. Lavresen trying to come home here to take the bell for the Netherlands. It's still close, but it's 0.348. Elal trying to finish it off for the French, but here comes Hogeland. Hogeland up to half a second, and they're going to do it. They're going to do it. He's flying to the line. Hogeland has it. It's 4 in a row. 4 in a row for the Netherlands. And look at what it means to them. They can't stop themselves. A sequence that started at home in Apeldoorn in 2018, continued in Prushkov in 2019. They made it a hat-trick in Berlin 18 months ago. And here in Roubaix, the Netherlands are team sprint world champions for a 4th successive meeting of the best on the boards. France put up a really good fight, certainly in the first lap or so. But the Dutch just continued to get bigger and stronger. (41.979). France have beaten. The Netherlands have their first rainbow jerseys of these championships. The Olympic champions, yet again, are the world champions. Oh, these riders amassing quite a palmarès, aren't they? And it's even better here, back in Europe for them. Family able to enjoy it as well, and that's lovely to see. They've given everything. Their reward is everything. It's a record-equaling sequence. And the last team to win 4 in a row were in fact the French between 2006 and 2009. And it's on these boards at the end of day 1 where we see Netherlands retain their rainbow jerseys in the men's team sprint. They've beaten France, Sutek silver, Germany, who walk away with bronze. Final classification sees Spain, India and Ukraine bottom of the table. Still on the top of the world. The Dutchies, the Netherlands. Olympics and world indeed. And it was a wonderful performance. Van den Berg, Lavresen, Hogeland. Job well done for them on day 1. And it's here that we conclude day 1 in terms of the action. A couple of medal ceremonies to bring you, so don't go away yet. But all the excitement on the boards. And good performances from our host nation, France, as well. Really setting up these championships as they get into full swing. Remember, it's a 5-day event. We'll conclude on Sunday afternoon here in northern France. And for now, before they go and get their prizes, there's a chance to watch their compatriots. Joachim Eilers, a bronze medalist. He's about to see the German women go and take their gold medals and rainbow jerseys. Happy Dutch fans. They'll have a chance to listen to their anthem. I'll be hoping they get the full play of it, unlike the Italians. Not too far to travel for them. Oh, the new protocol to be followed with their World Championship masks. So you get a rainbow mask and a rainbow jersey now. Now for those beaten, it's all about maybe keeping in touch with loved ones, giving those legs a spin out, and getting ready for more action in the 4 days remaining. Not too much celebrating to be done just yet for the Dutch. They'll be involved in more events. And the pages for tomorrow's newspapers in their respective countries are being prepared right there. So we've seen three titles awarded today, ending in that record-equaling performance there. In terms of the sequence, 4 in a row for the Dutch. And some solid pursuing as well that's going to set up tomorrow's final. And certainly with the Italians in the house, I think the rest of the nations will have been very realistic with what they could hope to achieve. France putting in possibly the performance of the night, though, in that pursuit. Beating the world champions, even though it's a changed lineup for Denmark. And the French going into the final will certainly have the support of the home crowd tomorrow. So something to celebrate tonight, and certainly something to dream of going into tomorrow. They'll be facing the mighty Italian quartet. You saw the gold helmets, the gold bikes, the gold details on the jerseys too. It's an intimidating presence with Top Gunner and company up against you. They can do it anywhere, it's at home though. I will look forward to that tomorrow. Okay, let's get some reaction from the winning German team sprint. Here's Emma Hinze.
So Emma, Berlin 2020, Tokyo 2021, and now Roubaix. How do you feel?
I feel so great. I'm really, really proud that we did 3-time world record, and now we won the World Championships, or the jersey again. And we were the last one winning with 2 women. Now we are the first one winning with 3. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
That's awesome. Thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you.
Well, finishing one cycle and starting a new line of history. Yes, the first time it is a 3-rider event. And it's the same team that won the last World Championships as a 2-rider event. Germany, still queens of the team sprint, despite the disappointment in Tokyo. Of course, it's worth saying that China are not here. Would have been interesting to see how they fared with 3 athletes in their team sprint. Germany have done what they had to do. They've only beaten what's in front of them, and they've beaten everybody very well. But as you heard, 3 appearances, 3 world records,
The award ceremony of the
and a rainbow jersey
UCI
each.
Track Cycling World Championship of the Team Sprint Women.
Les médailles et les maillots sont remis par monsieur Enrico de la Casa
will be along again to present those jerseys.
The medals and the UCI World Champion jersey will
the
be
UCI
presented
Vice
by
President.
Mr. Enrico de la Casa, UCI Vice President.
À la 3e place et
So in third place,
de la médaille de bronze.
In third place and winner of the bronze medal, the team of Great Britain.
You heard it. Great Britain into third place. Completely new lineup as well for them. Traditional approach to the post-Olympic year, albeit being a shorter Olympic cycle this time with big changes in the British lineup. Given the competition here, they will be very happy with their bronze medals.
Et gagnante de la médaille d'argent.
In second place and the winner of the silver medal, the team from the Russian Cycling Federation.
Now the Russian Cycling Federation, they take their first medals of these championships, and they're silver medals for their women's team sprint team. Here come the world champions.
World champion in a world record time and winner of the gold medal, the team of Germany.
And it's all about Germany again. Commanding, dominating, and simply faster than the rest. They closed one cycle, being the last team to win it as a 2-up team sprint. They're the first world champions in a team sprint trio, as the women finally get the long-awaited parity with the men in this event. So Lea Sophie Friedrich, Pauline Sophie Grabosch, and Emma Hinze are the world champions in a women's team sprint. The glory goes to Germany, who take the rainbow jerseys.
Invitons Madame Madi Dorchy-Brion, conseillère régionale de la région des Hauts-de-France, à s'avancer pour remettre les fleurs ainsi que la montre offerte par Tissot.
The flowers and a watch provided by Tissot will be presented by Madame Madi Dorchy-Brion, Hauts-de-France Regional Council.
Well, representatives from the local government will hand out the flowers and watches. And a reminder that the German team are no strangers to this, are they? It was an extremely popular win 2 years, or a year ago. Feels like 2 years ago, 18 months ago in Berlin. Of course, with all that happened to Christina Vogel. And it's nice to see this trio going on to success as this particular discipline changes. So applause all round, and in a moment it will be time for the national anthem of Germany.
Messieurs, à présent, écoutons l'hymne national des nouvelles championnes du monde.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Germany.
Delight for Germany as they're on top of the world in women's team sprinting. It's Germany, the Russian Cycling Federation, and Great Britain who are on the podium at the end of our first team sprint event.
Once again, let's give them a round of applause for the three fastest, the team in the women's team sprint. Great Britain.
And we'll have the medal ceremony for that second event, the men's, coming up in a moment.
From Germany.
Encore quelques applaudissements pour accompagner les trois équipes sur le podium de la vitesse par équipe femme, avec l'Allemagne qui remporte le titre mondial, l'équipe de la fédération de cyclisme russe décroche la médaille d'argent, l'équipe de Grande-Bretagne décroche la médaille de bronze, et nous allons retrouver dans quelques instants.
Well, a sensational performance and joy to follow. A few autographs to sign after that as well. Yet another line on their incredible palmarès.
Of course, the goal after the Olympics was to win also the European Championship and the World Championship, and we did it. It was a hard day today. First two rides was not that perfect, but final we kept it going and was finally an amazing race.
Is there something that will ever stop the Dutch?
No, I don't hope so.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, this is more taxing than the final itself. Going through all their sponsor commitments. There'll be plenty of those jerseys framed. And they're amassing quite a collection now. And this time a special one with family able to be close and watch. So one more medal ceremony to bring you. And a little bit of reaction coming up first from the Netherlands, who are the winners of the men's team sprint.
Harry, what a year for the Dutch team. Can you tell us a bit how you feel?
I feel amazing. Of course, the goal after the Olympics was to win also the European Championship and the World Championship, and we did it. It was a hard day today. First two rides was not that perfect, but the final we kept it going and was finally an amazing race.
Is there something that will ever stop the Dutch?
No, I don't hope so.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Harry Lavreesen as confident as ever there. And he had no reason to doubt himself or his team, did he? Netherlands 4 in a row in the World Championship. And as you heard there as well, winning the Euros too. Big ones though, the Olympics and the Worlds to do in the same season. So the teams making their way onto the podium. Netherlands, France, Germany, that order. And the same presenting party, Enrico della Casa. So the bronze medal to be presented first. And that goes to Germany again. Third bronze for Joachim Eilers in this discipline. Great rivals in sport, Netherlands and Germany on the same podium together, and add France in there, what a trio. The French at home. No rotation of their team, as you can see. The Germans did change things around for the middle ride of the 3 in the day. Plenty of support though for the French. Bronze medalists at the Olympic Games. They upgraded to silver here at the World Championships. And there the Dutch, they've done it again. End up having more rainbow jerseys at home than the normal orange jerseys they wear at this rate. In all seriousness, it's been another tough performance. Reset to 0 after every major championships. Go again, win again. A fun new ways to celebrate, I guess. Done it several times the last couple of months. The Olympic Games, the Euros, and now the Worlds. These medal presentations in these times of COVID are getting more interesting as well. Of acting going on there. It's gold though for the Netherlands. Yes, yet again. Quite a few good team sprint teams that have gone on runs of winning 2, 3, even 4 on a row. And this Dutch team will certainly be up there with the very best. Add Matthijs Buchli into the mix, who's been involved as well. What a quartet to rotate around and use that is. So some flowers and the watches to take home as well. And the French supporters enjoying themselves. There's a group up there in the stand with a Breton flag, the black and white flag of the Northwest region. But it's the Dutch national anthem that we're going to hear to close out the day here at the World Championships. Gefeliciteerd, congratulations. Netherlands, you've done it again. And with 3 very good performances. I admitted they weren't perhaps at their world record breaking best, but they've equalled a world championship record sequence of 4 team sprint rainbow jerseys in a row. Netherlands, France, Germany is the podium at the end of the day for the team sprint. And that's the family photo at the end of day 1. And this is how it was won.
On vous souhaite à toutes et à tous une belle fin de soirée puisque cette première
and with Johnny Hoagland to finish things off in that big, powerful style of his. That pleased the boss. Last minute bit of encouragement. I'm not sure he needed it.
Avec une première session entre 13h et 15h et une deuxième session prévue entre 18h30 et 21h45.
Netherlands touching the top of the world again.
Of the teams of Germany, France, and the all new world champions from the Netherlands. It was nice to have you here in this first
chance to celebrate with family.
You enjoyed the races, and I'm looking forward to see you tomorrow for day number 2 of this UCI Track Cycling World Championships with more track
and a chance to add to the medal collection.
4 decisions for world champion titles being given away tomorrow.
Well, talking of the medal collections, 3 have been given out today in terms of the golds. And they've been shared between 3 different nations.
The clock starts before the dawn clears the night, emerging from the darkness.
3 each then. Netherlands, Germany, Italy all on 1 apiece in terms of gold, but it's Netherlands who top the table with a gold and a silver. Well, that's it for day 1. It's been quite the day, hasn't it? Some world records, rainbow jerseys, and much more to come. We'll see you tomorrow for day 2. From me, Rob Hatch, and all the team at the World Championships, it's goodbye from Roubaix.
Germany launch a final bid for glory.